What's going on, Cougar Central? This is Colby Marshall, host of the show. I'm sitting here super thrilled with Anton Updale, midfielder for Kean Lacrosse. Anton has had a stellar season so far, and so has the team. They're sitting at a really good record at this point in the season, and he's had a big influence on the field, and this is going to be a great opportunity to get to know Anton off the field and also what goes into his preparation to be the player that he is for his team. So Anton, thank you so much for making it out here.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I'm excited.
It kind of sucks that it has to be inside, with the weather being so nice, but I'm glad that you
finally getting nice out.
Glad that you got to make it in. So I just want to start off by getting into how you found lacrosse. You're a really good player. I've seen a couple of your games now. What other sports were you into growing up? Was it just lacrosse, and how did you get into it yourself?
Yeah, so thanks for that compliment, by the way. But I started playing lacrosse when I was in 4th grade, like 9-10 years old. And I was introduced to the sport of lacrosse when I moved out to Monroe, New Jersey. I'm originally from Staten Island, New York, and my parents never seen lacrosse. They'd never even really heard of it. And like many kids, I played football in the fall, I played basketball in the winter, and baseball in the spring. And then I moved out to Monroe, New Jersey, and the first time I ever saw a lacrosse stick, picked up a lacrosse stick, was after a Pop Warner football practice. Some of the local Monroe rec coaches came out to our practice trying to just recruit some more players. I think they were low on numbers. And, they pretty much told us that there's a sport called lacrosse. You wear helmets like you do in football, and you could hit people with metal sticks. And, that's pretty much all we needed to hear. And sure enough, a lot of us, signed up to play lacrosse that spring, and there's no looking back. And, it's been an awesome ride ever since. I played with a lot of those guys all the way through high school. And, fast forward from that Pop Warner practice, like 10, 11, 12 years, a lot of those guys on that football team, they're now playing college lacrosse. Wow. So, yeah, it's really cool. Like, I really love that story, honestly. Like, who knows where we'd be if, those coaches never came and introduced it to us. Like, I might not even be in college right now. I definitely wouldn't be sitting here with you. So I'm just really grateful that those coaches gave me the opportunity and introduced me to the sport at a young age.
That's amazing. And, it makes a lot of sense that you came from a football background because, like you kind of mentioned with the helmets, lacrosse is a physical sport.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that I found out watching it. So have you always been, you played football, so have you always been more of a physical, kid, like into those physical sports?
Definitely. Yeah. Like, I think back to the days like me and my brother and my neighbors, like out in my backyard doing like WWE moves and like all that. We were always into that. And my family was a huge football family. My dad played football in college, and they always say, like, all my uncles, they were all football guys, but they always say, like, they watch me play, they're like, I wish we had this, and they just didn't, like, it wasn't around. They wish they had lacrosse. It's so similar. And like all my coaches always told me, like, they were very supportive of me playing football and lacrosse. I played both all the way through high school.
Wow.
I was a captain for our football team as well in high school. And like they always said to me, like, lacrosse makes you a better football player and football makes you a better lacrosse player. And it's so true. Like, I tell the kids the same thing nowadays. It's so true.
That's interesting. Because I feel like a lot of kids either want to focus on one thing or they kind of want to do multiple things because, like you said, one can influence the other.
Definitely, yeah.
So that's pretty cool that you're able to do football and still do lacrosse and excel.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like at both, being a captain. And,
I was super lucky to be given that opportunity.
That's awesome. That's sick. So, you played throughout high school. What went into the decision to go to Kean? Was the plan to play in college from the time you started, or was there a point in time when you realized like, hey, like I have a shot to go to a school and you know, play college lacrosse?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, like I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do exactly, like career-wise, but you know, playing club lacrosse and everything, I knew I wanted to play college lacrosse somewhere, be competitive, keep playing. And you know, like it sounds cliche, but Kean was really just like the perfect fit for me. But like, you know, everything about Kean, I live in Monroe, so I'm only about 45 minutes away. I'm lucky enough to live up here at Kean during the school year, but it's good for me. If I want to go home, I can. I'm only 45 minutes away from my home in Monroe. My grandparents, they still live in Staten Island, so a quick ride there. And also, you know, Kean just has top-of-the-notch facilities, really great. They treat us super well here. And, you know, the physical education program as well, I'm part of that. And Kean has a great program for phys ed. They're known for it. And I've loved it so far. Everything about it's been great. So I'm really happy about that. Also, when I was in high school, I came to a camp here at Kean over the summer, a lacrosse camp. And, you know, some of the players at that time were helping out, coaching, you know, they were just around. And I was able to tell, like, even in high school, how close all those guys were. And, like, you know, it's another cliche thing, like, what a family it really was. And it was, you could tell, like, all those guys were super close, and I knew I wanted to be part of that family. And, you know, I committed to Kean, I joined the family, and I was lucky enough to play with some of those guys I met at the camp for a few years. And, you know, I'm still lucky to have them around now, like guys like Max Stevens and Connor Badger, they're helping out coaching. So we really have such a great family, good group of guys. I'm lucky to be a part of it.
That's super cool that they stuck around and are still a part of it. That's awesome.
Great.
Were there any like hecklers, I guess, at the camp, or no? Like everybody was just cool? And,
no, everyone was cool for the most part. Obviously, like, you know, like the friendly banter, like the chirping, like that's just part of it. But you could tell, like, everyone there just seemed like, you know, it felt like if I saw those guys and it felt like, oh, like I could see myself being part of that group. Like they seemed very similar to me. And, you know, I wanted to be part of the group. That's
awesome. That's how you know you made the right decision, when you can see yourself like around those people in the environment. So that's pretty cool that you got that experience. So talk about being a freshman, you know, how has the program changed since your first year?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so a lot has changed, you know, and like the obvious answer to that is, you know, we have a new head coach and we have a different roster, obviously, but, you know, we're in a different conference as well. We're in the CLC now. We're not in the CSAC anymore. And our strength of schedule overall has improved a lot, which, you know, I really think is good. And our program's headed in the right direction in that sense. I think we're in a spot where we can compete with really anyone in the country. And I think my team has proven that, and that we, you know, can keep playing these big games and keep growing our program, you know, make a name for ourselves and put Kean on the map. So we really, you know, we embrace that challenge. We love it.
Yeah, I mean, do you realize how fun you guys are to watch? Like, honestly, like I've seen probably 3 games at this point, and I don't want to miss another one. Like, I didn't know you guys had a game tonight, but like I'm excited because I'll be there. Like, I'll be here for the one. But you guys are just like so fun to watch.
It's a lot of fun out there, man. Yeah.
Between the talent and, like, you know, when you guys score a goal, the celebrations, and just you guys,
a lot of energy out there. Yeah,
you seem like you're having a lot of fun. So talk, you know, you talked about head coach Alex. Talk a little bit about like that aspect of the team, and like what is the culture of the team? What's the culture like?
So I mean, we're really bought into everything, especially with Coach Lopes. You know, him coming in has been really good for us, and you know, everyone's on the same page. Everyone's bought in. You know, there's not much negativity, really. You know, everyone's, even when things don't go our way, it's all right. We're going to stay positive. We're not going to waste our time worrying about negative things, right? We're going to control what we can control. We're going to compete, and we're going to execute at the highest level we can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about Coach Alex. It's his first year, but he's been with the program for a few years now. What has that been like playing under Coach Lopes?
It's great. So funny enough, at that Kean camp I was talking about before, Coach Lopes was at that camp, and he like was coaching like my team or whatever, and that's when I first met him, and I knew he was just a great coach from then. And yeah, just him coming in, and you know, a lot of people thought maybe this year would have been more of a, you know, like a transition year to take a little while to get the ball rolling. But I think Coach Lopes proved that he was able to come in and make an impact right away. He does a great job really connecting to his players and, you know, learning what they need individually to be successful, and I think that's super important as a coach.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot with Coach K. I don't know if you're familiar with college basketball
Yes, sir.
at all, but like he was a coach that I think got the most out of his players individually, and that's why he had such great Duke teams. So that's
definitely, yeah.
That's
Coach Lopes is a huge inspiration to me. He's a great coach, and I hope to be a great coach just like him someday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
especially with I'm doing phys ed. I want to be a teacher and hopefully coach as well. And just seeing how Coach Lopes conducts business and just acts around the team. I want to be just like him.
Pretty good internship you're getting right now.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So you as a player individually, I want to get into your career, with Kean, and I've noticed that you've been a guy that has really gotten better each and every season from a statistical standpoint. Your goals and assists have gone up each and every year. So talk to us about like what is your off season? What does that look like, and what would you mainly attribute your success to on the field?
Yeah, so that's a great question. A lot of people don't, they don't think about that. They just, they see out on the field or whatever. But in high school, right, like I was saying before, I played sports year round, so I didn't really have much of an off season. Even, summer, I was playing club ball and, traveling and whatnot. But I came to Kean, and we have the summer break and winter break where we're pretty much completely on our own. And, they do a great job in the fall. We have team lifts and fall ball practices, speed and agility, a bunch of great stuff. But fall and summer were pretty much on our own, so I kind of had to figure it out. And, I've always really liked weightlifting since high school football and all that. But as I've got older, got a little smarter, I kind of changed the way I trained, started training more like an athlete, doing things that correlate more directly to lacrosse.
Right.
I know you have a personal training background, so like, doing less, like physique training or like bodybuilder, power lifter training, and doing more like stuff to just work on like explosiveness,
right,
speed, a lot of like cleans, stuff with med balls, like really trying to like work on that rotational force and just like things that relate directly to lacrosse. And I had like no idea about any of that coming in. I learned a lot of stuff from Coach Graff and Coach Max Stevens up in the weight room. They always showing me new stuff, and that definitely helped me a lot, like just as an athlete overall, just being in better shape and like being stronger and faster, more explosive. For lacrosse, it's really just trying to get out there as much as you can, trying to be out there every day at the wall, getting reps or at the field, sometimes both. And it really helps me, that I have my little brother Christian. He's on the team, and we live together at home too, so we would always practice and get reps. I'd have to drag him out there every now and then, being his big brother, but he would still get out there and we would get a lot of work. My best friend at home, he also plays college lacrosse. We played together in high school, so whenever we hang out, we're always practicing, trying to get better. Hitting up local goalies or defenders, trying to get some reps in. And I mean, I know it might sound like a lot, but when you love it and like you really have a passion for it and you love the grind, you're almost like addicted to it.
Right.
You're obsessed with it. It doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like a burden.
Right.
And honestly, that's really what I like attribute my success to, is really just like falling in love with the grind, enjoying it. Because like this is my last season. After this year, a few more weeks, that's all I got left, right?
Right.
So I'm just really trying to like make the most of it, love the grind, just get better every day and just really love the grind. Yeah.
That's sick. 1% better, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I know it helps to have that support system with your brother and your friend.
Definitely.
To help that grind. How many brothers do you have?
I have one brother. And I also have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in high school. She plays lacrosse as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice. What position is she?
I think she plays a little bit of everything. Yeah, but we were saying we were trying to get her to come here to play. But
okay.
I don't know. She's always here, so we don't know. We don't know yet. She might be sick of it already. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, she wants to do her own thing, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. My family's super supportive. Yeah.
Sounds like you have a really athletic, fit family.
Oh yeah.
You guys sound awesome. I want to talk a little bit more about, as far as the team, playing with guys like Dylan Johnson and Nick Thorne. When you guys are rolling like this, like what's it like being out there with those guys specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun to say the least. Like you were saying before, it's fun to watch us. It's even more fun to be out there with them. And DJ, Nick, all my teammates, everyone knows they're really good lacrosse players. They're great lacrosse players. They're great athletes. But you know, they're also really great teammates and they're really great friends. And I think that's what, you know, makes us as a group so special, that bond we have with each other, you know. And when things are rolling and we're feeling good out there, it's just, you know, there's no stress, there's no anxiety. It feels like we're out there in the backyard, like after school, like little kids, you know, like messing around, having fun. And yeah, it's really special, honestly. Like, I'm really grateful to have them, especially those two. Those are my guys.
That's what it seems like. Like, you guys are out there in the backyard, like, just messing around, having fun.
That's how it feels when we're rolling. Yeah, like we all really trust each other. We have a lot of confidence in each other, and you know, when we put it all together and we get hot, special things happen. Yeah.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about you off the field. What kind of keeps you leveled? I know it's grind for you, like every single day you're after it, trying to get better, but what are some of your hobbies and interests away from lacrosse? Yeah,
so I mean, to stay leveled, I would say that honestly, lacrosse is what keeps me leveled, honestly. You know, like with everything school, it's like daily stress. Like lacrosse is a great outlet for me to just, you know, kind of turn off my brain and not worry about anything off the field, you know? Just like being out there and not having to worry about anything else. I'm just worried about, you know, doing my job for the team and, you know, helping my brothers and doing what I need to do. Even if I'm just out there, you know, shooting, having fun, like there's really nothing better than being out there a nice day like today, bucket of balls, speaker, you know, and just getting some work. As of hobbies, I like to play golf. I'm not very good, but I'm getting there.
I was going to say that rotational work you do for lacrosse has to apply.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Okay. Yeah, I can hit the ball pretty far. I can't hit it very straight.
Accurately.
Yeah. Yeah, I love going to the beach, hanging with the guys, trying to get into reading a little bit. We'll see. I also have a really great girlfriend, Lexi. She helps keep me leveled, definitely, when I'm going crazy. She helps calm me down. But yeah, I mean, it's really just lacrosse is probably the biggest outlet for me to just like relieve stress, and you know, it's my happy place, really.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. So, you know, with the rest of the season coming up, what's the goal? Like, what as a team, like, what are you guys looking to accomplish? What's the mentality overall right now?
So, I mean, our mentality is we don't want to look like too far ahead into the future. You know, we're worrying about each day one at a time. Whether it's just practice, we're trying to win that day of practice, get better. If it's a game, we're obviously trying to win that game. I've been telling the guys all year that a really big goal that I think we could accomplish is we could be a ranked team, top 25, and I also really want to go to the NCAA tournament and, you know, see what we got. Because the year before I came in, my senior year of high school, back when Kean was in the CSAC, they won their conference, got a bid to the NCAA tournament, and I remember I was at home watching the live stream, and I'm like, dude, that is so cool. Like, I just want to play in the NCAA tournament. It's always been a dream of mine, like since I was a little kid, going to watch the Final Four, and you know, like always been a dream of mine. So I remember seeing that, and then my freshman year, we didn't win the CSAC, and then we switched conferences, and it's been a lot tougher to win the conference now with, you know, our harder schedule and Salisbury and Christopher Newport in the conference and everything. But we think that if we do what we need to do, we win some big games, we keep getting better every day, we can make the tournament, we can get a bid, and, you know, we could find out what we're made of for real. So
that's exciting.
I think that would be really cool. I think about that like every day. So
that's awesome. Listen, I have no doubt that you guys can make a run, and I look forward to seeing it. So
thank you.
Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh man, thank you for having me.
It was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it.